You keep, he had the power. He had to keep that power. So that if Kalonzo is becoming president, it is him who is making president. And it is him who remove him in a day. So what is Gachagua telling me? Does Gachagua want to tell me he doesn't know politics because he was a DO, he never learned politics? If he thinks people love him, I want to remind him, sadly, the truth is no. Gashagwa is not to the people of Mountain Kenya what Ruto is to the Kalenjin. Let me break it down for him and for you and for the viewer. Gashagwa is not to the people of the mountain what Raila is to the Luon people. There is a spiritual bond between Raila and the people.
Great to see you. Hello there and welcome to Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Jedel Kabra. I'm so glad that you've joined us once again for our political conversations on this platform, conversations to help our politicians and our leaders in both policy decisions and making political moves that can actually foster unity in this country. I'm here with Prof. Manyora. Great to see you. How are you doing today?
Good.
Our conversation comes from the conversation we had when former Deputy President Rigathi Gashagwa launched his Democracy for Citizens Party. You said this is a wrong move. You actually called it a mistake. You said that he has given Ruto presidency in 2027. A lot of feedback coming through our socials and meeting a lot of people, and I'm sure you've met some who have told you you are dead wrong on this conversation.
Yes, many people.
And I think for purpose of clarity, it's even better that we start from the point of, does Gachagua need a vehicle? And I think, let me make it better, or is he the vehicle himself from the conversation that you're having? Does he need a vehicle, which is a party, to help him when it comes to 2027 politics?
You know, there is Gachagua, and we have the community, the Mount Kenya people. Sometimes it's important to distinguish between the two. So the community may need a vehicle, which Gachagua might as well use or board. But the way this one comes out and the way it came out is that he actually he has gone to the to some dealers to acquire a bus for himself, complete in his logbook. The name, the complete with a logbook complete in his name. That's what I was against. That's what I thought was cheapening him, and which is what many people have not understood.
Why is it cheapening him? And you're saying people haven't understood. You're a lecturer, you're a teacher. Make us understand.
Yes.
Because in Mount Kenya, there is Jubilee Party.
Yes.
Argument is Jubilee Party cannot sell in Mount Kenya.
Yes.
And therefore, as you put it correctly, the community needs this vehicle.
Yes.
Why is it cheapening Gachagua if he's the one coming up with this vehicle?
You know, there is something, for example, when you are dealing with people and you are ranking them, and there is something like what we call superordinate. What people seem to know is subordinate. When you have an establishment, there are workers, there are staff, they have ranks, grades, up to the highest. Below them, there is subordinate. You don't even count that one.
Yes.
Now, also beyond the highest grade, there may be a superordinate grade. Superordinate. That's where I thought Gachagua belonged. But he wants to be graded. So he has moved from where I had kept him, he has come down. So it's okay for him, it's okay with me. That's what I was trying to say.
What is the difference between William Ruto Tanga coming with UDA?
Yes.
And Rigathi Gachagua coming up with his Democracy for Citizens Party.
DCP, whatever.
DCP.
Yes.
What is the difference now that you feel like he cannot go the Ruto way, where I have this party, it will win elections in Nairobi, in Mount Kenya, and different parts of the country, and it can actually propel me to power? Why is it different from me?
You know, you can never read anything in isolation. The circumstances, the times dictate what to be done and how it should be done. For Ruto, he was moving away from from Jubilee, he needed to have his own party, UDA, which was good. I didn't see Gashagwa moving away from anywhere to form a party like Ruto formed the UDA. Fate, and I want to say luck, and hard work, and circumstances, including the impeachment, have propelled Gashagwa to a super level where yeye ndio kusema kwa opposition. Basically, who becomes president other than Ruto will be determined by Gashagwa. That's how it was. So when you are lucky to occupy that kind of position, my thinking was that you remain there. What he did was to drop down from there, to become like Eugene Wamalwa, like Kalonzo Musyoka, like Fred Matiang'i. And he says it very openly. Let Matiang'i form his party for the Kisses. He told them, go to Kisses, let the people accept you. Eugene has a party, which is a Luhya party. Kalonzo has a party, which is a Kamba party. Let me also have mine, which is a Kikuyu party. I thought he was beyond that. I don't know why people are not understanding what I'm saying, including Gachagua himself. I think he doesn't understand.
The reason there is conflict in understanding, let me put it that way, is because when Ruto formed UDA, it wasn't a Kalenjin party.
Yes.
And yes, you're saying circumstances are different.
Circumstances are different.
Why do you believe that this Democracy for Citizens party will only be a Mount Kenya party? Why do you have that?
Listen, when Ruto came up, Uhuru had been so demonized that there was a huge section of this country that believed Uhuru had ruined this country. And there was a savior in the name of William Samoei Ruto. So when Ruto formed a party, he carried with him a big chunk of this country. Rift Valley, Western, especially Bungoma, the whole of Mount Kenya, pockets of coast, pockets of Lower Eastern, Nairobi. He carried this, you see, that was then. Is Gachagua carrying the whole country with him in the similar manner? No. Kenyans want to come together as groups. Eugene Wamalwa and Natembeya bring a group. Matiang'i brings a group. Kalonzo brings a group. A group comes from Mount Kenya. What I'm saying, Gachagua should remain above the groups. So you come on and yell. That's what people are not understanding.
And you know the reasoning
but
is...
But now it's too late anyway.
The reason is, it's too late. There is negotiations that are going to happen.
Yes.
If Gachagua wants to become president, he'll have to go with a party.
No. And I explained. How did Raila do it? 3 times. Almost 4 times.
He had ODM.
No, that's not the issue. Raila remains superordinate, above the rest. Yeah. And that's why he came up with Azimio. Can't you think about it? How did Raila craft Azimio?
I'm saying at the...
Raila didn't come to table with ODM to sit with Wiper. It was Wiper and ODM and what else?
Wiper, ODM.
And all these Jubilee and all these small parties.
Yes.
No! Raila dropped from up with Azimio that eclipsed all these people. 2017, there was NASA. An umbrella, although it's Mudavadi who had coined the thing NASA. Raila grabbed it. So, you are top there. You are not coming with your table, you sit with other people, you negotiate. No, you come top. In other words, Gachagua would have remained at the top to control things. He may even as well control those things to his advantage and become the presidential candidate. But now he has put himself on the same table with all these people. He was on top. Now he has come to the table with them as equal partners.
And to whose
that's what I'm saying.
To whose disadvantage is this?
First, to his disadvantage.
Why
Because
so?
he was top. Either he was going to be the president, the presidential candidate for the opposition, inevitably, the way Raila has always done, or he was going to determine who becomes the president.
I'm asking,
in his own terms.
Can't he still be the flag bearer of the loyal opposition
It is
with
possible.
his party. And if it's still possible, why is it a problem if he has a party?
It is possible that he can still become an opposition flag bearer, but it will come in a very difficult way. That is why, and I want Kenyans to listen to me, especially Gashagwa and his people. These people had better begin paying me. I just teach them. In fact, I want to teach them. Why do you think we couldn't beat Moi in 1992? When a chance came, after years of oppression, you would have thought in a minute Moi will be gone. But everybody had their own party. Jaramogi, Matiba, Kibaki, and a few other wannabes. Moi just beats them. He just got 30% of the votes. With their 60-something% or 70, they went all of them went home. Come 1997, and the same thing happened. They could not agree on a single presidential candidate. Moi floored them, again with a minority percentage. They all went home. You see?
Yes.
Then 202 happened, and the circumstances created a movement of rainbow. So the people did not sit down to agree on Kibaki. No. It was a wave, and Raila riding on that and seeing we are about to repeat the same mistakes of 92 and 97 from nowhere. Pap Kibaki tosha. Because they could never have agreed. If Raila hadn't done that, they would never have agreed. No. Aliwastua, kwetu tunasema aliwaiba kwa kilugha yetu, aliwaiba. Kuwastua tu, it took them by surprise. You could even see if you play the clip. They were shocked. Because he knew they would never agree. If you put people in circumstances such as this to sit and agree,
They will not agree.
they will not agree. Gashagwa was in a position to drive the agenda of the opposition towards one candidate without people having to sit down and agree. Now he has sat on a table with them. They agree. You wait and see. They will not agree. And the Ruto will just go back to State House. They will not agree. I wanted Gashagwa to remain up there, directing. 2013, Raila just did that. 2017, same. 2022 is easier to understand. Raila realized even ODM selling in Mount Kenya would be a problem. So they came with Blue, Azimio. It eclipsed all the parties. The parties became irrelevant. People just knew Azimio. People just knew NASA. And I keep hearing Gachagua, and as recently as 2 or 3 days ago, on this show, which I have been called many times, I haven't gone. I think I'll go. What is it? Obina show or whatever.
Yeah.
Obina should forgive me. He keeps calling me and I have not gone. I think I'll go one of these days. I had him there talking about never again, never. I will never go into it. Whom does he want to go into a coalition with? It assumes he's stuck in 2022, where Ruto was the boss. So he's seeing another boss. I wanted him to be the boss, whether he's the president or not. To be the man behind. And in the show I said, and today I'm working on the same show with him, between him and Uhuru Kenyatta. In the show, what did I say? I said he would remain top if he was intelligent. And I'm not saying he's not intelligent. You remain top. And you'll direct things. You'll determine who becomes president. And I said, the intelligent way to do it this time is not to have a stupid MOU. MOUs are always disregarded. Even Tony Blair and Gordon Brown. Tony Blair ignored the agreement. He was just forced at the very last moment kuachia Gordon Brown. It happens in politics. Whoever keeps their word in politics. You don't sign an MOU with anybody. Kibaki is the one who started this idea of ignoring the MOU with Raila.
Yeah.
Sindio?
Yes.
Others have ignored. Kalonzo has said Raila has ignored. Sindio?
Yes.
So what is Gashagwa telling me? Does Gashagwa want to tell me he doesn't know politics because he was a DO, he never learned politics? And a promise from a politician is a waste of time. Whether you have written it or no, I saw him saying with the lawyers, what? Somebody will just ignore it because it is not law. It is not even simple coalition agreements. Ask Kalonzo Musyoka and Mudavadi and Wetangula. ODM just ignored, and it was deposited with the. So what is Gachagua telling me? So it is not the MOU you write down with the lawyers' stupid signatures. No, it is your power. You keep. He had the power. He had to keep that power so that if Kalonzo is becoming president, it is him who is making president, and it is him who remove him in a day if he plays. You play your game in such a way if you are Gashagwa. If I make you president, because I'm the one making you. That's where Gashagwa was. Yes, Gashagwa was so high up there that he was going to determine who becomes president. Sasa amejitoa anakuja kucompete na watu ambao alikuwa juu yao huko juu. If he remained there, he will make you president. And you will know he has done it. And it will not be a secret to you that if you want to remove you, he will remove you.
And this is why you are talking about now it's only Uhuru that can stop William Ruto. Is this why you are saying that it's that fear, that being in power, that being on top, it's only Uhuru that
yes, you remain. Now Uhuru is there. Ametoka huko juu. My clip today, my video today is about that. You can call it competition between Uhuru and Gashagwa. Who will call the shots? Kati ya Uhuru na Gashagwa nani kali? Watu wasikize hiyo show leo. Nani kali? Why? The Mount Kenya people will determine who becomes president. They can as well become president. It is them who will determine who becomes president. In 2022, they did the same. They are the ones now going to do it in a more serious way, in a more even dramatic way. So, it is just not their community, the way it is now down to individuals. It was Gashagwa. And Uhuru was just watching us. His control of the mountain was being enjoyed by Gashagwa. And I think he was feeling something. He can't have been very happy. So as Gashagwa makes blunder, Uhuru is just laughing. Now it's Uhuru it may be Uhuru who will determine. For example, let me give you a practical example. Do you know Matiang'i and Kalonzo are the candidates Mount Kenya? People, in general, if you go to the village level, down to the bar, to the ghetto, to the farms in Mount Kenya, people are talking of Matiang'i, Kalonzo. That's a fact, eh? So my friends like Jimmy Wanjigi must really try hard to see if they can win that constituency, although they are aiming national, which is good. If, for example, it is Kalonzo, it is a Matiang'i, Uhuru could as well be the one to direct the people. Look, my people, I spoke to you in 2022. I told you about Ruto, a man I've worked with, a man I know for many years. Not 10 years. I knew Ruto. When Uhuru stood in 2002, Ruto was the closest and the strongest person next to him. And they were together in the No campaign. So Uhuru and Ruto have been together for a long time. My people, I told you I know this man. I told you for us to go in the right direction, let us follow this path. Let us vote for. You didn't listen to me. And I told you mtaingia shimo. Na mkaingia shimo. If I tell you now, will you listen to me? People say yes. Can I give you direction? Yes. Matiang'i. Where is nani amepotelea hapo katikati? Where is Gashagwa?
But it is.
Where is he? I wonder. You tell me where is he? Where is he? Tell me where he is.
It's common knowledge.
Tell me where he is.
People are supporting Gashagwa on the ground. That is common knowledge now.
That is the ground he's losing. That's the control he's losing. Because what is on the ground, and I'll do a show on Gashagwa. This series started with Kalonzo and Matiang'i. Today, it is Gashagwa and Uhuru. Next week, it is Eugene and Wamalwa. Eugene and Natembea. And Wamalwa and Natembea. Yes. Then I now focus on the individuals. I will focus on Kalonzo. I will focus on Matiang'i as individuals now. As a friend of mine, Amos, told me, I don't want to say which Amos. I focus on that. But I'm going to do a special show again in that line on Gashagwa. And I will show you, let's not confuse Gashagwa and the people. The anger and the Gashagwa. The cause of the anger, which is what people perceive to be what Ruto has done to them. And the one thing that crystallizes that anger, which is Gashagwa's impeachment. Unless you get it right, you'll think it is Gashagwa is everything. And I will break it down, I'll show you. No, it's not. So if he doesn't know that, if he thinks people love him, that's what my clip will be. Now you are making me... If he thinks people love him, I want to remind him, sadly, the truth is no. Gashagwa is not to the people of Mountain Kenya what Ruto is to the Kalenjin. Let me break it down for him and for you and for the viewer. Gashagwa is not to the people of the mountain what Raila is to the Luon people. There is a spiritual bond between Raila and the people. What connects Gachagua and the people of Mount Kenya is not a spiritual bond. It is the anger against Ruto.
So you can be confused.
He thinks people love him. No, people don't love him. He represents that which people are looking at. That anger. He's the one who drives that agenda of that anger. So he must try and create the love which he has not done. He's not there. He's not where Raila is with the Luo people. He's not even where Kalonzo is with the Kamba.
But is this where...
He's not where Ruto is with the Kalenjin.
Is this where Ruto was with the Kikuyu nation?
No.
In 2022?
Ruto rode on rejection of Uhuru.
And can Gachagua ride on it?
That's where he is, the same. But that's why it doesn't last. Where is Ruto and the Mount Kenya people? If you go to an ordinary club and talk about Ruto, will you enjoy your drink in Mount Kenya? An ordinary club, anyway, in Nyeri, Karatina, where unapiga taska yako ama sijui nini unapigaga. Alafu unasema Ruto. Will you enjoy that drink?
No.
In 2022, if you said anything against Ruto, would you have been allowed even to finish your drink?
No.
That's where Gachagua is. People have something against somebody. And you are the one carrying that. When they see you, they see that.
It has to go beyond.
It has to go beyond. You have to cultivate a bond between you and the people. So that the people cannot separate themselves and their issues from you. For Raila, people can lie down on the road from Kisumu to Kericho. Gari pite juu yake. There are many. If you tell people, please, how many people are willing to lie down to die for Raila? You'll be surprised with the numbers. Hundreds of thousands of people will be willing to die for Raila. I know it's not easy to get there.
Yes.
And I'm not saying Gachagua should get there. Because those are very rare things in the world. There are people who rarely achieve that. Even Ruto has not achieved it. But I'm just trying to show you, it is a journey you walk. Gachagua has not even started the first step to create a bond between him and the people. In fact, in that regard, the Uhuru is much higher. And that's another thing that Uhuru failed to do. If Uhuru had cultivated that during his 10 years of presidency, the rejection he received would not have happened. Because much as the people say Raila's relationship with Ruto is a bad thing, that bond between Raila and the people will ensure that a majority of the Luo voters will vote for Ruto if Raila says. So Uhuru never did it. He is a beneficiary of the natural connection between the people and the Kenyattas. The historical bonds and ties and pride the Kikuyu have. Kikuyu people feel they are special in a way. They are entitled. You cannot feel that way and delink yourself from the Kenyattas. But Uhuru as a person never did anything to create a bond between him and the people. The way Raila and Ruto and Kalonzo in a way have done. I was just saying, history had accorded Gachagua an opportunity to mix the two through a chemical process, and they become inseparable. Gachagua and the people and their problems, their aspirations, their fears, everything the people have with Gachagua is one and the same. But he has failed.
Yes.
Uhuru never cultivated that bond. All Uhuru needed to have done is to interact with the people the way Ruto does and Raila. To have people he has a personal touch with in the community. So for Uhuru, save for the billionaire club, and even then not so much, I asked them. I asked somebody who was folding his party, not folding, who was leaving Uhuru. I asked two people why they were leaving Uhuru to join Ruto. One of them, a very senior person, top, he has been even top until recently. He said, this man can't even pick your call. You meet him, say, come tutaongea, anaenda. That's number one. The second person I asked was, why are you as the chairman of this Kikuyu party, seriously Kikuyu party, why are you leaving Uhuru and joining Ruto? He told me, this man, you can't access him. Even at this time when he needs us, you can't access Uhuru Kenyatta. So he failed to cultivate that bond. But the Kenyatta name kept him up there. Mudavadi, Kenyatta, yeah. I'm saying all these things using so many words to answer people who have criticized me, including the streets when I meet people, including one who had an argument with me at the club yesterday badly. I'm saying this so that they get I have nothing against anybody. I'm just saying Gashagwa needed to be a messiah of the people. To have a personal bond with the people. They tie their faith, their fears, their hopes and aspirations with him. They connect, they become one. History had accorded him that chance. But he is reacting to 2022 because Ruto alitudanganya. So that's what is driving him. That Ruto lied to us, convinced us. Nilisikia kwa Ubina juzi nikasema, but this guy, why does he listen to what I'm saying? He's reacting. When you are reacting to things, you don't make right decisions. He should see himself, and it looks like it's getting late, or it's already too late. He should have seen himself as the leader of the opposition, as the opposition, as the man alone, one, Rigathi Gashagwa, aka Rigathi, also known as Truthful Man of Man, also known as Manyora, and finally also known as Son of Mau. He should have seen himself as there. If there is chance left, let him retrace his steps and say, Manyora has a point. I was the man to determine who removes Ruto. Now, I'm going on a table, we discuss with people among us who is going to remove Ruto. Let me tell you, they will not do it. Because on that table, there are people who Ruto has sent there. Kwa hii timu hii, kama hakuna mtu Ruto ametuma, basi mimi sijui siasa. Kama kutakuwa mtu hapo ati hakuna mtu Ruto ametuma, aidha Ruto hajui siasa ama Manyora hajui siasa. Na mimi najua siasa. I understand politics and I understand this country. So is it going to be that it's Ruto who doesn't understand? Ruto and not understanding politics in the same sentence? Ruto. This is politics. Ruto is not a politician. Ruto doesn't know politics. Ruto is politics itself. Because this country has only produced three politicians. Daniel Toroitich arap Moi. Raila Amolo Odinga. Not even his father Jaramogi, no. Raila Amolo Odinga, William Samoei Ruto. They share so many things in common, including understanding this country, understanding politics, and guys who can work 26 days in a day. Moi never rested. Raila never rests. Ruto doesn't rest. Even Raila at his age, nasikia wasema Raila ni mzee. Oh, these guys here who are saying they can't match Raila's energy.
Finally,
yes,
just to understand what you've just said, Gachagua should not sit down and negotiate. He should only give directions.
That's where he was, to give. It doesn't have to you command people. Since fate has brought power to you, you already have the power. Use it. So you reduce the power you have, drop from up where you are, come and sit to table with Kalonzo. Sasa Kalonzo, wewe una wakamba wangapi? Uko na pesa ngapi? Eugene, na wewe Waluya kweli wanakuheshimu? Uko na pesa ngapi? Uko na marafiki ngapi kwa ngambo na hapa? Na wewe Matiang'i umetoka ngambo juzi. Wewe unajua hii Kenya kweli? Wewe Matiang'i uko na pesa? Sasa mimi ndio niko na pesa, mimi ni Gashagwa. Ama fanya hivi, sisi yote wacha tuunge Kalonzo sababu ni mzee. It will not work. Hakuna. And the only way these people can work together, and I've said it before, and that they will be very lucky if the people of Kenya force them on one candidate. The people can force them on one candidate, but on their own. Wakai meza wasikizane? Wapi? Kina Kibaki walikunywa chai mingi sana, kina Charity Ngilu. Hakuna hoteli wako kanyaga kunywa chai. Niwezekani?